Hey guys, it's Bill, and today we are going to play a bit with Python in our ZOS environment and also with Z Open Automation Utilities. So to get started, we are going to create an API here using Fast API, a Python framework that is really fast. It's easy to get started. We're gonna see that has some cool functionality that helps a lot on the development and mainly in documentation. So you're gonna see something here that's really nice. But to get that and have that executing and test that, we are going to use the UVI core. So this will be our server for our API. So first thing that we are going to do, let's go to the terminal here, and I'm going to create my virtual environment. So creating the virtual environment allow me to install modules and have this avoid to impact other users, other system modules that could be using Python or something like that. So I'm going to use the virtual environment, and I will create our ZAPI virtual environment here. And we are going to activate that. So I will use the source ZAPI bin to activate. When we do that, we see that this is indicating that we are using our virtual environment. And also, if we do pip version, we're gonna see that we are using the pip from this environment and not the default one from environment. So it will be pointing for a folder inside of our virtual environment. So let's see. And there we go. So here we are using the pip22 from our virtual environment. Okay, awesome. So let's add the Fast API and the UV core to get started. So, so Fast API and UV core. Nice, package is installed. So if we do now pip freeze, we can see all the modules that were installed, not just the Fast API on UV but all the prehex from them. Yeah. So let's go to the VS Code now. I will create a file here. So with main.py, and let's get. Okay, so let's get started with the most basic things. So from Fast API, we are going to import Fast API. So let's declare our API here. So app will receive a Fast API instance. And let's define the function. So let's define a hello world. And all it will do will return a hello world message. Okay, right. And how does Fast API know when it has to execute this function? So we're going to use something here called a decorator. So when the decorator is taking the function that is right below that, and it's implementing some actions, some functions for that also. So it's expanding that, and we are going to use the get. So here is the method that we are using. So when we are creating in working with these APIs with HTTP, we have several methods that we could use: get, post, pull, delete, patch. There are some methods. Let's focus now on the get. So this is saying that through these we are going to get some information. So and we have to pass what is our endpoint. So let's just save that and let's go and take a look here with the browser also. Okay, so now let's start the UV core serve. So UVI core, we are going to take from our main file the app instance, and I will also use this reload, so it will make the DV icon to keep an eye on our file, and as we update that, we could see the changes reflecting on the server. Okay, application startup complete. And when we go to the browser, we go to 8000, we get the message hello world. So for example, if you save here, hello from Netherlands, and let's put on 8 here also, I will save. The application will restart because it saw a file change on the main.py, and application startup complete again. So if I refresh here the browser, I see hello from Netherlands. Perfect. So we have our hello world with just these 8 lines, and 3 of them are just space. We have an API ready. Other thing that is really useful here is that when we create these APIs, we have other the fast API help us, for example, creating documentation for that. So, for example, if I go to the docs, I will see a Swagger documentation for the APIs I have just coded here. So, for example, here we have just one method get with the endpoint slash, and it also helps with some description here. So, for example, we see here the hello world that came from the name of the function. We can expand that and see more about this documentation. If we want to try it out, we can try from here, and we see how we can use that and the response. Okay, not just the Swagger. If you are going to print that, for example, it also has other model. So if we go to the redoc, we see another way that the API is documented. Okay, perfect. So now, what we are going to do, we are going to play a bit with the Z Open Automation utilities. So with the Z automation utilities, we could, it is a series of modules, commands that helps us to do other actions from our terminal, from our USS. So bringing some of these US functions to our terminal, it's something that I hope you're gonna find that is really useful. Okay, let's see a bit how that looks like. So I will stop my server for now. So let me clear this. If I just use Zowe version, you're gonna see that I'm working here with the ZOAU 1.2. And just for us to get started, there are some commands. So for example, don't we have the touch to create a file here? So we have a version of the dataset touch. So if we pass here that I want to create a sequential file, and adcdz.build.zoal, it creates for me a sequential file, and I don't have to worry too many things about, oh, how many extents should I use, or this kind of thing. So if I just want something simple, okay. I can, for example, record something for my data set, but just for us to see that this is empty. So like we have the tail, we have the data set tail, and I will pass here, so the abcdz.build.zoal. And now let's use dataset echo to send a hello Zoal to our dataset. Oh, a space here. And if I go back to my tail, now the dataset has the content. Perfect. Well, not just helping with handling data sets from our terminal, it also helps with other things. So for example, if I want to issue a command, I can issue a command from my terminal here. So mvs command, for example, and the IPL info, and I get the answer here on the terminal. Or, oh, I'm just getting started with this environment. What are the param libs that I have? So I have the print param lib, and it will show me all the concatenations of my param lib. I can check for the procs. So what are the proc libs that I have? I can, for example, oh, inside of my parm libs, where is the clock 00 member? So I can come with parm ways, and then I pass the clock 00, and in which parm lib is that? So the same way we're gonna have the proc ways. We could do that for link list. So there are numerous functions. Other thing that I really like is the print console. So if I just print, I can just print the recent console here from this log. I can navigate a bit here. Let's suppose I want to search for a specific message. So let me see. I can use this to get with the grep and just pass what I want to search. And I see just the lines of the log that this message happen. So this could be really useful. Okay, let's start our server again and go back to modify a bit our hello world. So UV icon, let's wait a bit, and let's go back to our full screen. While that is starting, I will just copy this. Okay, so I will copy this. And now, something that's important, right? When we are having these multiple endpoints and functions and everything, the order matters, okay? So we're gonna see that in the future. But let's update this. So now we want to see the syslibs. And I will change here for syslibs. And the message, we're gonna return our API. Oh, I forgot to install the Zig Open Automation Utility. So let's install that here first. And so let's do that. So I will pip install. Nice, install it. Let's restart the server. And so now from ZOAU, we're going to import the system. So this is the module that has those functions with parm libs. And now on our syslibs endpoint, we are going to return the list of parm libs that we have in the system. So this is system dot list parm lib. Let's save that. Let's open the local host, and we're going to 8000 this time. And now we see the two endpoints here. So let's try this one, and fingers crossed we didn't did anything wrong. Okay, perfect. We got the. So here we go. We have here our libraries, so it's working perfect. Okay, so now let's do some changes here. So the syslibs will not just return the parm libs, but let's suppose we want also to, I don't know, return the proc libs, the link list. So let's do some changes here for our API. And for that, we are going to use now a path parameter. So this is when we are including here inside of the path that we are going here for our route, we're gonna pass a parameter here. So let's do here a sys model. And we are going to do something here for this sys model. So let's create So let's import from enum, import enum, and let's create a class for that. So class sysModels. So it will facilitate on the documentation. So we're gonna check that in a minute. So string and enum, and then we're gonna have the options parmlib, that is parmlib, linked list, and proclib. Okay, so our path will be, now the function needs to receive that. So we are going to receive here the sys model, so the variable that we have here. And we want to say for our API that it's from this class. So it will be from sys models. Oh, models. And now let's do something here. So if this model equal sysmodels dot parmlib, we return the list parmlib. If it's proclib, we're gonna return the proclibs. And if it's gonna be linked list, we are going to return the linked list. Okay, perfect. So we save it. So let's see our application restarting. And let's refresh our page. Okay, so now we see other things here. We see that the schemas, so for example, our sys model, when someone is going to try that out, we see that it needs to pass a sys model. We have here that the sys models could be anything of this, parmlib, linked list, proclib, and also when we want to try that, we can just come here and choose which one we want. So for example, for parmlib that we have already tried, let's try linked list now and execute. And we have the list, this system linked lists. If we want to see our proclib, we see here our proclibs. So the good thing about using this, it's all this, the way that it helps on the documentation and everything. And also when we are coding, that is just out suggesting for us what are the options we can do. So this is what we call a path parameter when we pass this inside of the path, and everything that we need to do for FastAPI to know from where it comes is just need to point it here. If it's here, it knows it's a path parameter. So now let's do something different. Remember that we have the parm wins, we have also proc wins. So we have also this option to search inside of the linked list, proclibs, and parmlibs. Let's do an API to search a member. And then we are going to talk here and see another kind of parameter that can pass on our API. So the query parameters. Okay, so let's stop this. We are going to receive also a member. And this should be a string. So now this API will be search syslibs, and this function, in fact, will looks like find. Just so it will be the find parmlib, linked list, and proclib, and now we need to do is pass the member here. Okay, let's save. Application restarted. Let's go back here. We see now our three APIs, and here we have the members. So we need to pass what is the sys model, what is the member, and both are required. So let's try it out, and let's search on the link and the parm lib. Where is the bpx-prm01? And there we go. So this is how we search. And here, from where it's coming from this parm lib. Cool. And well, let's add some descriptions here so it's easier for people that's looking to our documentation. How we do that? So if we come here and just use this. So API for bringing the list of this libs. Leads, proc libs, and linked lists. And this, we are going to, let me close this. Oh, jeez. Let me close this a bit. And here, we are going to go for search a member. Okay, if we refresh, if we go back here, okay, save it, application restarted, and refresh that. When we open, we're gonna see the description I have just added. So Fast API will identify that for us and we'll bring it here. Right, so now let's do something. Let's play with another model from the system, from the Z Open Automation Utilities, and let's also use the data sets. And to search into the data sets, so let's create the base model that we can use here. So I'm gonna from identity import base model, and you're gonna see why that's important, because it will help us, and also Fast API will use that to identify which filters are, for example, not necessary. It's when we don't. So let's take a look. So let's import the base model. Let's from type in, let's import the union. And now let's create the base model for our dataset search. Okay, so I will create here the DSM search using the base model, passing the base model here. And then what we're gonna need, so let's use DS name for the dataset name, and we want to receive a string for that. Let's also allow the user to pass the member name. So, and here is why we are using this base model for practice, just for the example. So we want to allow the user with the data sets to search for a specific word inside of a data set, and that could be a PDS. In this case, he needs to pass the member, or that could be just the sequential thing. So just for us to practice here. And so this is not always obligatory, so sometimes it's optional. So let's use this str or none, and the default will be none. Okay, and the word we want to search, that will be a string also. Okay, now we have let's create this API to use that. And now we are going to use something different here. We are going to use the post. So it will be a different kind of different method for this API. And we are going to follow search DSN. So we are going to follow the same model that we have. Okay, the search DSN, and this decorator for our function. So define search DSN, and we expect to receive the DSN we would like to search. And we just broke that, but it will be quicker. So DSN search. So it knows what is our model. And here, so let's use a variable where we can store the full data set name that we want to search. And that could, so here we are going to use a ternary operator to be easier. So how it would looks like if we want to search, if the user has passed a member, we are going to, if to attribute here full qualified name with the ds name plus the member, otherwise just the ds name. So dsn search ds name if dsn search member as, otherwise it will looks like the dsn search plus ds name, and let's pass here the member name. Yes, the member name. Okay. So if our FoodJS name has, if the user didn't inform the none, this is just the same as DS name. Otherwise, we pass this a string that contains the DS name plus the member in to search. Okay, and we are going to return the results of our search. And here we are going to pass full DS name and the DSN search word. So the data set that we want to search plus the value that we want to search on that. Okay, saved application is restarting. Let's recapitulate. So we are using here the enum to create this class where we fix and we let the user know what are the options that he can use. We are passing and structuring the class for our DSN search. So here we have the DS name that could be the string or PDS, and if it's a PDS, we're gonna have the member and the word we are willing to search in this data set. So let's refresh here. And now see the documentation, the Swagger. We have a different API here. So we have our post API. Let's look. This is the request body that's required, and we're gonna have DS name, member, and word, and looks on the sys models. This and search. So here we can see DS name is required, member it's not required. So this is also something that is really cool. It really facilitates with our documentation. So let's try it. Let's see one thing. Okay, so let's see what we're going to search. Let me go here. Let me take a VPX. I don't remember where is the VPX. Here I am 01. Okay, so on our, so this will be the data set we're going to search. I will try it out. So the hash name will be this. The member will be bpxpim01. And let's search for mount. We should have a mount there. Hope so. And let's execute that. And here we go. So we got all the lines on this data set on where the mount word appears. Cool, isn't? Okay, so this is just some samples for us to see how could be really simple to get started with the open automation utilities, and we're using Python to create API and doing numerous things here. Fast API still have a lot of other things that we could use. So for example, we also can add tags here to split this, to help you organize these documentations. So for example, if I just came here and add the tags, and for example, this is from this assistant module. This is also from this assistant model. And this one is from the data set. And I save that. So let's refresh. And there we go. We have the APIs documented and splitted and organized by what are the mods that we want to use. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you have enjoyed. The idea was to elaborate a bit more and give a bit more overview about what could be done, because on the previous video we were talking about the Z Explore challenges. So there we have a challenge with the Z Open Automation Utilities. So just showing other examples on how we could be using that. And I hope you have enjoyed, and till next video. Bye bye.